I'll start recording. Okay. So background music, this is a little bit different. You don't really need to create, you don't need a lot of different background music. You can have different songs for different scenes in your game. But you really just need one file or a couple files. And it's really easy to play. You don't really need any code or anything. But it's kind of the same process. We're going to use a couple different websites to look for background music. One is Free Music Archive. So I'll open this up over here. And the other one is Open Game Art. And Open Game Art has a lot of just like general art as well, but there's also a lot of music and there's sound effects as well as music. So these are both good resources. So for this one, you really just want to find some music that sounds good and that matches your game. So a lot of it is just like looking for the right music and then downloading it. There's not really that much to it. So Free Music Archive, I like because it's all Creative Commons stuff and it has good search tools. So if I go to genres, I can see all these different genres. And then I can actually, there's also like subgenres. So it gets pretty specific. So like if I go to electronic, there's all these like really specific different types of electronic music. So if I have like a really specific idea for what I want in my game, like, I don't know why this one is purple. Maybe this is new, Vaporwave. Let's try that one out. So I can preview the music here. So this is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You could listen to a lot of different stuff and find stuff that you like. But I'm just gonna go with this one because it's good enough. So I'll click on this. That'll take me to the artist page. And I forgot the name of the track. Let's go back at the name of the track. Or let's click on the track name, Lost on the Freeway. Okay. So you can see this is public domain 0 again. So that means it's just, I don't have to give attribution. I can just use this, but I still want to save a link to this. And then I can click the download link here and it tells me stuff about the Creative Commons license. So I'll click download. And so now that's in my downloads folder. I'll show that in a second. And I just want to save a link to this. So I'm going to keep this here. And same thing for Open Game Art. It's basically the same process. So there's a bunch of different music here. Let's listen to this first one and just see how it sounds. So that's pretty cool. If I click on here, there's actually a few different tracks: title screen, level 1, level 2, level 3, ending. And they have a link to their whole audio portfolio. And so if I click on here, it's going to download this whole zip. And this person just says, if you use this in your game, I would love to see it. Send me a message here. So they're not even, there's no even license on here. Or no, the license is over here. It's also public domain. But they're saying, if you use this, send me an email. So that's kind of cool. We want to remember to do that. Okay. So let's switch back to the screen view and just organize our files a little bit, and then we'll be done. So let's go to our downloads folder. And so I have a couple new songs or files here. So here's the MP3 that I downloaded of the Vaporwave music. I'm just going to drag it over here. Pretty simple, and then add the source to my sources. So I'm going to say Lost on the Freeway and just add a link here. So I'm just going to copy link and paste it in there. Save it. And then the other one that I downloaded is 5 action chiptunes. So I don't really want all of these. Some of them are actually pretty large. I don't want to give my game all this extra data. So let's just use the first one. And there it is up there. So that looks good. And then I'll just add a link here. I'm going to copy this link and paste it Okay. So now I can always find those things if I need to use them again. So then with these files, you may want to edit them again. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up in Audacity. I'm going to go to open with. It doesn't give me Audacity as an option, so I'm going to choose another app. Go to Audacity, click open. And so these files are much longer. You can play the whole thing in the track if you want to, but you might also want to just take an excerpt of it. So I might choose like a point, like after a minute or something like that. And I could just select all this and delete it, and then select the end and go to effect and fade out. I'm not going to normalize it. Since it was made by a musician, I assume that they did some decent mixing and mastering. So I'll just listen to that fade out. That sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go to export. And for background music, since it's much longer, you probably want to use an MP3 so it doesn't take up as much space. So I'm just going to call this Lost on the Freeway edit. Click save. Okay. Okay. And then we have one more. Save project, no. So then this chiptune song is really actually quite large because it's a WAV file. So the WAV file is the higher file sound quality, but larger file size. So I want to actually turn this into an MP3. So even if I wasn't editing this, I would open it up in Audacity. It's actually not very long, so I'm not going to change the length. But I am going to make sure there's a fade out at the end because it's going to sound bad if there's not. So I'm just going to select the end and go to effect and fade out. And then I'm going to export as an MP3, and you'll see the file size is much smaller. So I'm going to go to export as MP3, and just put edit at the end. And so if we look at the edit MP3, that's only 1 megabyte or 1,000 kilobytes versus the original is 7 megabytes. So it's very large. So for the game, if we're gonna, especially since we're gonna distribute it on the internet, it's actually better to have smaller files. So using this MP3 file for the music is a good idea. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna add all this stuff into Godot on Thursday. So we'll go over how that stuff works then. So for all of these different things, you can find the links in the lab page. So the free music archive link is here. The open game art link is here. If you need to download Audacity, there's a link down here. Same thing with the gameplay sounds. There's a link to JFXer and Freesound. There's also a link to Audacity down here. And same thing with the interface sound. So that should give you guys enough stuff to be able to create some sounds. I'm going to stop recording.